You're not really sure where to start. Do I start with the realtor, the lender? How do I find the lender? I know it's a good lender. How do I know they're not trying to scam me? Hey honeybees, welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new, my name is Ciara and I do videos on finance and lifestyle. I am a full-time mortgage loan officer and I've helped hundreds of people to buy homes, build wealth, and I take everything I know and I share it with you guys in hopes that you will build wealth also. Okay, so today's video is going to be a very popular question that I get: how to pick a mortgage lender, a mortgage loan officer, a mortgage broker. If you are in the market for a house or you want to buy soon, you're not really sure where to start. Do I start with the realtor, the lender? How do I find the lender? How do I know it's a good lender? How do I know they're not trying to scam me? All that stuff I'm going to talk about in this video, so stay tuned. Thank you so much to Karma for sponsoring this video. Karma is formerly ShopTagger, which I've talked about a lot, but they are now called Karma because it represents the good karma that they put forth by helping you shop smart. Karma is actually an app and Chrome extension that uses clever technology to ensure you never miss a price drop or a coupon code. I love Karma because I am so busy as a mortgage loan officer, and with the current pandemic, I do most of my shopping online. Y'all know I love to save a coin. My favorite feature of Karma is that they give you all the coupon codes so you can take advantage of all the discounts that are available. I really love Karma for that reason. So let me show you guys how it works. Go to Karma's website, which I've linked below, and if you don't already have one, you'll need to create an account. Once you do that, you'll want to download the browser button by clicking Connect Now and Download, and you're going to add the extension to your Chrome browser. Then you can go to any of your favorite stores and you will see that Karma browser button there, and you can actually move and drag the button up and down for convenience. You can save an item by clicking on the button, and once you've done that, you can get notifications via email or mobile push when an item you've saved goes on sale, or if it has a relevant coupon, or if it comes back in stock. Now that COVID is letting up a little bit, I'm going to start going back to loan closings like I did before. So I did want to make a list of some really cute work clothes and snag them when they go on sale. The great thing about Karma is that you can create lists and the products get saved, and then you can organize them into multiple wish lists, and then that way you can shop more mindfully and intelligently, which could help reduce the amount of impulse buys you make. Karma also uses really clever technology to scan the web for coupon codes, and it applies them at checkout automatically. But this is a special feature you only get through the web browser on your computer, so definitely make sure you download that button. And what's even better is that you can actually earn cash via PayPal when you shop from select retail partners. So yeah, Karma's all around a great money saving and shopping tool. I definitely encourage you guys to check it out. Click the link below, and to save as much money as possible, download Karma on your computer and your phone. Now let's get into it. Okay, so I think you first need to understand the difference between like a loan officer and a loan originator and a broker versus a bank. A mortgage loan officer is a licensed loan officer that works for a mortgage broker. A loan originator works for a bank. A bank and mortgage broker, loan originator and mortgage loan officer. Those are two separate things. So I think you first need to understand if you are going to need a bank or a mortgage broker, if you're going to need a loan originator or a loan officer. But how do you know which one you need, right? Major differences between banks and brokers. Banks tend to take longer to do home loans, and brokers, we usually average 30 days for closings. Also with a bank, their rules are more stringent and the loan originator has less control over the loan. When you're with a broker, they have more pricing ability. They can do more creative financing. They usually can find you the best deal. Understanding the type of client you are is so important. It's going to determine in which direction you go. If you are a very strong client as far as income, credit, and everything, and you want to do, say, like a construction loan, a bank may be better for you. Maybe your credit is average, or maybe your situation is more complex, then you're going to want to go with a broker. Once you've decided on what kind of company is going to handle your mortgage loan, these tips should help you either way. The first thing you want to do is obviously look for the best deal. Now, when you're searching for a mortgage lender, you need to know that in order to get approved, your credit does have to be pulled. You can go to multiple mortgage lenders and get your credit pulled, and it should not hurt your score as long as you do so within 30 days. So that first credit pull is probably going to be like hit you for those few points or however much, and then you can get it repulled and repulled and repulled by other mortgage companies over a course of 30 days. After that, if you get it pulled again, then it's going to hit you again with the inquiry and the points. Shop around, definitely shop around. If you're a stronger borrower, then obviously you're going to have more leverage and you can shop around more, you can compare rates, things like that. If you are a less strong borrower, then you may want to find a good lender and stick with that lender. Rates and pricing. Now, one thing that I absolutely hate is when banks or companies throw out one rate and they'll say, rates today are 2.75. Let me break down to you how it really works. There is not one rate for every single person. Rates can vary from day to day. They can vary from hour to hour. They change daily. They change throughout the day. So number one, it depends on what the market is doing, the stock market, the bond market. Number two, it depends on credit score. If someone has a 500 credit score versus somebody that has a 800 credit score, they're going to have two completely different rates. So that one rate that bank threw out to bring people in, that 500 credit score borrower may go to the bank and say, hey, I want that 2.75. They're going to be like, no. Why? Because it's variable by credit score, number one. So the higher your credit score, the lower your interest rate. Number two, it goes by the loan type and the loan size. Different loan types tend to have different rates. FHA tends to have the lowest rates. Any government loan is probably going to have a little bit lower rates than conventional. Conventional tends to, by default, just have a little bit of higher rate. Your rate is going to be determined by credit score, your loan type, your loan size. It's also dependent upon zip code, type of house, a bunch of other things that are very specific to your application. When you see that one score that a bank is throwing out to bring you in, don't get too set on that one score because it's an average score that they've calculated and it is not necessarily accurate as to what your interest rate will be. You want to go to the lender who can give you the best deal. But in saying that, I also don't want you to get too caught up on rate. People get way too caught up on rate. You can get caught up on your rate and miss other things in terms of your pricing, your closing costs, things like that. So definitely, your rate is important overall to your monthly payment, but incremental changes in your interest rate aren't going to make a huge difference in your monthly payment, and you also need to focus on things other than rate. I am going to do a video on closing costs and breaking those down, and I've talked briefly in other videos on how to get a little bit cheaper monthly payment, but one of the ways you can get the cheapest monthly payment is to have the lowest possible rate. So choose your lender based on who has the best rate, but don't just go by rate, go by pricing. Because essentially most mortgage lenders, we kind of all offer the same thing. So there are little tweaks here and there that individual lenders can do to make it more affordable for you and to give you competitive pricing. But in general, we kind of offer the same thing. So that brings me to my next point, which is you want to choose a lender by who has the best intangible benefits. So when I say intangible benefits, I mean benefits or things that you can't necessarily touch or see. Intangible benefits, for example, if you are a person who is very digital, I know for me, I'm all digital and I'm very busy, so I don't want to have to bring documents to the lender, every other day. So then you'll want to look for a mortgage lender who's actually very tech savvy, who does everything digital, if they will allow you to upload or scan your documents versus having to bring them in. Let's say that you are a borrower who you are not tech savvy at all, you don't like the digital, you want to see someone in person, face to face. You want to be able to physically bring documents to them, things like that. So you would want a mortgage lender that does very well with clients in person and does well with clients who aren't tech savvy. Maybe you are the kind of borrower that you need a loan officer that is available on weekends. A lot of people's loan officers don't answer their phone. Communication is big in this industry when you're buying a house. So you definitely want to look for someone who is a good communicator and communicates in a style that works with you. Every lender or loan officer may not have the same approach. They may not have the same way they work. It's just like realtors. You have to kind of feel out whose personality do you mesh better with, who is easier to talk to, who communicates well, who provides those intangible benefits that you as a borrower need. So definitely take all that into account when you're choosing your mortgage lender. Definitely check reviews. That's a great way to find a good mortgage lender. A lot of people find our company through Google and our 5-star rating. That's really important, especially in this digital age with COVID and things like that, where you may not be going to meet people in person as much. I think it's really great if you have a friend or family member who has worked with them, or you can find really good, legit reviews online. One person's experience may not be the same as another's, but if you can see an overall trend, that'll give you an idea of how other people felt about this lender. Location. You may need to choose a lender by location. Do you want someone that is smack dab in the same city as you where you can physically access them? Do you not care about that? Do you just want someone who can do everything digitally? I have clients that I work with that are physically here where I live, and then clients that are, spread out and in different states. And it works the same way for me. Like, I'm able to do all the exact same things I would if they were here. I do a lot of digital, and most people prefer that. With digital, the great thing is with technology and with digital, you can work with people anywhere. It takes nothing to submit a document. It takes nothing to complete an application online. Decide what location you want. I would also pick a lender that is resourceful. A lender can actually direct you to the right real estate agent, the right insurance agent, the right title company. As a lender, we work with all of these different entities to get a home loan closed. So we have the plug on who's good, who's not, who's affordable, who's not, who's great to work with, who's not, all those things. Really, your lender should be your one-stop shop, because you should go to them first before you start looking for a house. Ideally, they get you pre-approved, and then you get with a realtor, put in an offer on a house. Once it's accepted, then that's when you will put your file into underwriting. You will get a title company, you'll get an insurance agent. They should be able to help you with all those things so that you aren't running around with your head cut off and clueless. Pick a lender that is very knowledgeable about the lending landscape, who has resources and tools you can use, and who is able to give those to you. So another thing you want to look for, especially if it's a mortgage broker, find out if they're a lender or a broker or both. So my company is a lender and a broker. And when I say broker, that means we broker loans out to other wholesale lenders, and then sometimes we do our own lending. One thing I like about brokers is that we are a lot like Expedia or Travelocity. The same way you could go directly to American Airlines site and buy a flight, but you could also go to Travelocity and search and they find you the cheapest flight. That's what a broker is, essentially. As a broker, we can search pricing and search rates from multiple lenders. We have access to, I think, up to 20 lenders. So I'm always able to find the best deal for my clients because I'm able to access multiple lenders who specialize in multiple things. It gives me a lot of freedom and it gives me a lot of resource when it comes to my borrowers, because I have a lender that will do separate property. I have a lender that will do down payment assistance. I have a lender that does LLCs. I have a lender that does manual underwrites. We have lenders that specialize in just about every area. That's a really special thing to look out for, especially if you're going to go with a broker. Find out if they broker out to wholesale lenders, find out how many wholesale lenders they have access to, find out which wholesale lenders it is, look those lenders up, find out, what other people's experiences are with those. So yeah, that's definitely something you want to look at, especially if you're going to go with a broker. If you're a first-time home buyer, I highly recommend choosing a lender or a loan officer, a loan originator that is going to educate you about the process. As a first-time home buyer, you're kind of jumping in head first and you kind of don't know what's going on. And I think it's so important to have a loan officer that is willing to kind of hold your hand and guide you, explain everything to you in detail, and be available for you to answer all your questions. A lot of loan officers kind of just want to get you in and get you done, but me, I like to incorporate education along with it. I just really like to empower my borrowers. Definitely look for a loan officer or a loan originator who is super knowledgeable and willing to teach you along the way, willing to guide you and explain things to you. And last but not least, a great way to pick a mortgage lender is via word of mouth and or your real estate agent. So I know a lot of people will go to a real estate agent first. Most real estate agents have a lender or a group of lenders that they like to work with. They will usually recommend that you go to that lender. That realtor knows what lenders they work well with, what lenders can get the job done, what lenders have great pricing. Also, people that you know, family and friends, who have they used as a lender? Who did they like? And definitely just do your research. A great way to find a mortgage lender is through people that have used them before. To me, there's no better way than that. Through doing your research, I think being mindful of those intangible benefits and what you need from a lender, as well as their willingness to teach you if you're a first-time home buyer, and also their ability to provide multiple resources and tools and things like that to you. So yeah, those are some basic ways that you can find a mortgage lender and find a good mortgage lender. Leave your comments down below if you have more questions about this. Make sure to hit the bell button so you'll be notified when I upload more videos. Subscribe to be a part of the Honeybee fam. Thank you so much for watching. I love you to the bank and back, and I'll see you in my next video.